Is Paul O'Connor no longer the best skier in his family?
I believe Paul can do absolutely anything, but his kids sure are rising up the ranks.
It's showtime. This is The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast, and your one and only source for all things show skiing, bringing you news, knowledge, and interviews with the legends and stars of our sport. Here are your hosts, Matt Heilman and Adam Schaller.
Welcome to The Ski Show, the longest running podcast in show ski history, the only podcast in show ski history, and the only media of any type specifically dedicated to the sport of show skiing. We're here to celebrate the sport, to celebrate the people, and to bring you news and entertainment about the sport we are all so passionate about. Today we do just that as we talk about the recent Cypress Gardens victory at the Southern Regionals, and we talk to a couple of their young rising stars.
Today's sponsors are the Board Shop. All your summer and winter board sports gear is yours at bswake.com. The Paul Stokes Agency at American Family Insurance. Let Paul be your insurance agent. And as always, Flyman Skis. Custom-made jump skis and featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. Get yours at flymanskis.com.
Before we get to current news, I want to chat about our last podcast. We did that tournament season preview. We drafted teams. That got a lot of attention, believe it or not. I had messages from people that thanking me for drafting them or asking me why we forgot such and such a team. It generated a lot of conversation within the sport. It was fun, and I think it's going to be fun to follow up later after Nationals.
Yeah, I didn't receive any hate mail like you did because I did not draft our rival team. Arguably the biggest rivals in the last 20 years, and Matt drafted the Rock Agua Jays and Dave drafted Mad City.
Yep. I got hate mail from my own kids on that. They were not thrilled. So yeah, good stuff. Really, really fun to hear the chatter within the sport about it, and it's going to be a fun summer. Regionals are already heating up. You know, as of this episode, the Southern Regional is in the books, and this coming weekend is Central Region, followed by Wisconsin State. So there's a lot going on. It's pretty awesome. Before we get into our recap of Southern Regionals, let's chat first about Flyman Skis.
Yeah, as you've heard on these airwaves many times, Flyman Skis is where you can get custom-made jump skis and featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. These skis are made for skiers, by skiers, and top athletes everywhere are riding them.
Yeah, and Flyman's also taken their game in a whole new direction with live streaming events. They webcast the entire Southern Regionals, and it was fantastic. So not only are they pumping out tons of skis, they brought the sport to us all with their live stream. Pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, you can get your custom-made jump skis and featherboard swivel skis at flymanskis.com. That's flymanskis.com.
All right, time to recap Southern Regionals.
All right, with a resounding victory, winning by 330 points was Cypress Gardens. Second place went to Tampa, third place went to Carolina, and fourth place was Sarasota.
Yeah, interesting. You know, Southern Regionals is interesting. So, it was kind of a two-horse race. You could argue it was a one-horse race. Cypress Gardens is that good, and we're going to talk about that today. They stomped everybody. Tampa was clearly the next team, and then there's a gap to Carolina and Sarasota, who are smaller teams doing great things with the size of program that they have, but it's just small. And I got to thinking this week that the Southern Regional is actually, I think, smaller than the Eastern Regional. Fewer teams competing. Maybe, I don't know about number of athletes, but they're small and mighty. The stuff that they churned out, I had a chance to tune into the live stream on a number of occasions over the weekend to catch different aspects of the Southern Regional, which was awesome. They have some awesome skiing going on down there, cool productions. Really good stuff. So it was a fun Southern Regionals, but kudos to Cypress Gardens for just stomping everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you go through that roster. Cypress Gardens is like the who's who of show skiing on that team. It's just that's really cool.
And with
they put it all together,
like giant numbers. And we're going to talk to Joey about that, about some of the stuff they got going on. But a few highlights from the tournament. We're not going to go through all the individual events highlights, although some of the big names that Liam and Darian and so on, were victorious in some of the individual events. But best male and best female for the second year in a row in the Southern region was Ty and Bailey Hyatt. Congrats to them, standout skiers. Chris Jemick and Angelina Graham-Viles were the best drive and ride team. And Cypress Gardens had the 2 highest scoring acts of the tournament and 6 of the top 7 scoring acts of the entire tournament. Their Barefoot Circles act was the top scoring act in the tournament. Their back barefoot line, their ATB, and their ballet all scored huge. They had some cool acts. I mean, nine around the boat. 2 teams did 9 around the boat, Adam.
9 around the boat.
Cypress Gardens and Tampa both did 9 around the boat.
Wow, I can't even we can't even do 1 around the boat.
Yeah, they Cypress Gardens ballet is on par with RAJ, Mad City, Aquanut's size and strength. So good. They really their back barefoot line looked awesome. 6 back barefoot, really cool. So lots of cool stuff coming out of that Cypress Gardens show. Just super talented.
Yeah, I think if we could just get Florida to push the start of school 2 weeks later, then maybe Cypress Gardens could come to nationals, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk. We're going to talk about that with Joey. Let's pin her down as to why they're not coming to nationals.
Or maybe they are. We don't know.
Maybe that'd be awesome.
We'll find out. It's a surprise.
The sport could use that. So awesome stuff. Well, Southern Regional skiers and skiers everywhere need a great insurance agent. And they need to reach out and chat to Paul Stokes and the American Family Insurance Agency. Paul's one of us, a show skier, a barefoot skier. He loves the sport, and he's an incredible insurance agent.
Yeah, that's right. And he gave back to the sport in many ways, and your team can get back $30 just for reaching out to Paul and going through his Get Stoked quoting process. You heard that right. Just reach out, get a quote, no obligation, and Paul will donate $30 to your team.
Yep. You can't go wrong with at least checking in with your options with Paul. He's an amazing guy who's giving back to the sport, and he's going to take care of all your insurance needs. So get stoked and stay stoked with Paul Stokes and American Family Insurance. All right, well, today we are having 3 parts of the O'Connor family on the show. We've had Paul on the show a couple years ago. He's a legend in the sport, but today we're first going to talk to Joey O'Connor. She's one of the show directors and the architects of the fantastic regional championship show that Cypress Gardens put on. We're going to talk about their team and their victory. And we're then going to kick her out of here. And we're going to talk to 2 of the hottest rising stars in the sport who happen to be her kids, Mally and Cal O'Connor. Both had huge weekends at Southern Regionals. And we're fortunate enough to have been longtime friends and teammates with the O'Connors, dating all the way back to their years on the Mad City ski team. Now they are thriving more than ever with Cypress Gardens. So let's get to it and welcome to the show, Joey O'Connor. Hey, Joey, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Well, good.
Good.
I'm all relaxed now.
Well, good. Yeah, regionals is over. You have that weight of the world off of your shoulders now, huh?
Right. No, we're getting excited to come up to state next week, so that'll
Good.
be fun. Catch up with some people. Good luck, you guys.
Yep. Thank you. Well, let's talk about your regional victory. You guys absolutely crushed it. I mean, and what were some keys to that victory for you guys?
Well, we had a couple acts we really been working on. Of course, our back step was pretty exciting. I was in the boat for that one, riding and pinning, and it's one of those things where the act that we don't get the skiers there much. We have Steve Boisard, who's works Monday through Friday, and so just getting all 6 out there, and the timing was spot on, and Derek drove it great. That was exciting. Of course, Steve K, you see all his posts and ATB, and everyone was pumped up for that. He really was excited for that one, and we're just super glad that it worked out the way it did. But I think a lot of it is just the videoing and all the time that goes into. We have a dad that videos all our shows, Kent, and he, afterwards, after the shows and stuff, we get together and watch them and analyze as a team and hang out and have fun. And yeah, so we had a couple big acts. Of course, having your kid out there, you guys know it's always a little more nerve-wracking. So Back Ovals was our highest scoring act of the show. Cal was super stoked to be a part of that this year, alongside Zane, Keith, and Lamana. So pretty impressive, people to ski next to. So that was a highlight. And of course our ballets. So Chris Jemick does a lot of work throughout the year and just dialing those in, and the Mally does the dances. So we're excited that all worked out. And so those are big things. But I think if we come down to it, our showmanship was the thing we really, from day one, needed to work on. So we kind of, Paul and Connie and Lisa and I wrote a show that is kind of based off of our team and what would work well as far as the whole theme goes. So it wasn't the traditional payoffs for a lot of the acts. It was more just cheering and yelling. And like a lot of you guys, we have skiers that haven't been on teams before and have no idea what show skiing is about. And then you tell them to smile and wave and how important it is. And it's easier to say, hey, just cheer and yell and have fun with it. So it seemed to work well for our team this year as far as our payoffs go that way. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the names you rattle off, we talked about on the front end. We mentioned the star power you guys have on your team. And for Cal, how awesome is that? A barefoot circle act of 4 boats, and it's Jason Lamana, Zane Schwenk, Keith St. Ange, and Cal O'Connor.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty fun stuff.
I think for Paul and I both the most nerve-wracking part of this show. So,
sure.
Yeah, but I think just looking at those 3 right there, all their kids are on the team now. Yeah. And it's really exciting. And, I don't think any of them would be out there if it weren't a family environment and having their kids out there skiing.
Correct. That's the fun part. I mean, and yeah. And I mean, but your organization has, now you've welcomed them in, they've got kids, and then you've got people like, Sherry still hanging around, and the Hyatts, Ty and Bailey killing it. Your family, like the number of big names that are on your team, add that star power. Super fun to see. I had a chance to catch the live stream and watch. It was great. It was awesome that we had the ability to do that. So that was super fun. Talk about your kind of team's growth over the last, let's call it 2, 3, 4 years. You guys have seen some, astronomical growth in your total numbers within your organization, the skiing difficulty you guys are putting on. Talk about that. What's gone into that? What's been a product of that growth, and how has that been for you guys?
Yeah, when Lisa, Connie, and I started this a couple of years ago, I think bottom line, it was about the ski community. If we look around, Winter Haven itself is like, a melting pot of water skiers between Legoland and the Old Cypress being there. There's so many families. But then putting on shows 12 months of the year. I mean, Diane Enberg's done an awesome job at social media, and our numbers have gone up for our ski show crowds. So I think, after every show, we usually have a family or 2 that comes up and says, hey, I want to join the team. But I think it's just putting on those other shows is, just as fun. Our Halloween night show, our Christmas show, the kids' special shows we have throughout the year. I think that's really what it's all about, as well as, the get-togethers. And I think that's pretty common for a lot of show teams. But like I said, the Kent videos are shows, and after every single show, we go to Glory Days and, hang out. We have the whole reserved area outside, and as a team, watch, laugh, kind of laugh at ourselves, just see how we can get better. St. Ages hold a couple different parties throughout the year after Christmas and tournaments. So we're just creating those traditions. I mean, it's a pretty new team. I think this was our 8th tournament 8th or 9th that we've been in. So, it's new as far as show ski world goes. So we're just trying, it was easy to just create some fun activities. And also we do a banquet every year now. So we started that up and have certain awards, and it's a time for all of us to dress up, and we have the team plan it, and the American Legion provides a place for us to have it, and it's a lot of fun. We have different prizes and stuff throughout the night, and a dance at the end and stuff, but we also do, I think that helped, we created a goal sheet for everyone to fill out. So we do that at the beginning of the year, and on the bottom it has a list, a spot for people to fill out. Hey, what do you want to see improvements of the team, and what could be different, or what are your unique talents that we don't know? And it's amazing, like our little girl on stage, Reagan, this year, the 5th grader, we had no idea she was into acting, and she just did outstanding, and she had those lines memorized the first afternoon. So so I think it's just finding people's talents and using them in different parts of the show, whether it's, how that goes, riders, drivers, up in the concessions. So I think the biggest area we're hurting on is riders. So it's in and out, a little bit drivers too. We're having to pull skiers out of acts. Like I was in the boat most of the show, which I actually loved, and I learned a lot from this year. But Lisa did that last year too. So it's a little different. I think because we don't need 4 or 5 boats every show. It's just a few months of the year come tournament. And
Sure.
then we're kind of scrambling. Oh, we need to find a driver and a rider now. So, so I think just the different events and activities we've created throughout the year have, made that ski community really excel for us. And it's just a lot of fun with the families we have.
Do you think the 100th anniversary in Winter Haven in 2022 and kind of Worlds and the update of your site kind of jump-started a lot of this?
Yes, I think it put a challenge out there for us to take on a Worlds event, and we're fortunate that the city, was able to step forward and do that for us. And the site, we're so lucky to have the site we have now, and changing rooms, unlike Mad City and stuff. We're fortunate, and people realize that. And I think just having to put on events all weekend just made a few people step up, and like Jean did a lot, Jean Boyser and Mark, of course, for that event, and just figuring out what we could do and what we were capable of. Yeah.
Sounds like you guys have had what I'm hearing you say over the last couple minutes here of chatting is you've had a bit of a culture shift in a positive direction. The team sounds like it likes to be together. You guys are watching videos together regularly, and you're hanging out, and you're having banquets, you're having parties, and people don't want to miss. They want to be there more, and it sounds like a positive culture shift to me. Is that your sense? Was that your goal? Is that kind of where things have headed?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, obviously, show skiing is nowhere like it is up in the Midwest and Wisconsin, and the numbers and teams, and we're just trying to keep that alive, and we all love being out on the water. So, just teaching other people how fun it is. So I think I'd say, off of that, of course, we have our challenges too. I think if we take our total ballet roster, if we added in everyone from the entire year, we're up to 45 people that can do a toe hold, but obviously we lose. I'm a numbers person. I went through numbers, and I realized we have 40 members on our team that actually competed with other teams, that are competing with other teams this year. So it's quite an adjustment. You have to go month to month, and we never have our tournament show people there until actually on tournament day. Is the only day. The last 3 years we've done this. It's been the same, and you have to understand it's just different because you have 12 months of the year. We're expecting people to be down there. We can't make it mandatory. It's just which is it's challenging. And like I said, the ballet I think was the hardest one for me. We had 30 girls that could have been out there, but we've never had 30 girls successfully do it. So we had to, say, hey, why don't you do ballet too? And I'll sit in the boat here. And so we had a number at 26. So definitely challenges too. So people are pretty understanding though. It's been great.
How many skiers are on your roster for the regionals?
For the regionals, it was 126. And then I went through this morning and I figured out there's 63 actual skiers. So It was double the numbers if you counted everyone that could have been out there, or between concessions, the boat driving stuff. But 63 skiers, 126 on our roster.
You guys are a big team. Like that,
yeah.
that is a big team. So then here's the question that I'm sure you were going to expect, but how do you think Cypress Gardens would stack up against everybody else?
Well, I mean, if you look at the points and you're like, well, is it comparable or not? If we could ever get the entire team up there for a D1 competition, I think we could be, top 5. I think that would be fair to say. I know people are, I keep watching all the videos this year. Everyone's stepping it up, though.
I think you'd be top 3.
Exciting competition.
I think you're selling yourself short. I think you'd be top 3.
Yep. Well, looking at the scores and your acts and your numbers. Yeah. Yep.
I think the last couple of years, the more we've done it, the first year people started thinking about it, like 3 years ago. Oh, maybe we could go. Last year, there was a few more individuals that actually went and started talking about it. And then this year, the talk is happening more. There's definitely
So when will you actually come to nationals and compete? When will it go from talk to action?
Let's see if our president can come on board with that. No. I think we'd have to have a good year in advance. And Brad, our president, I think he would definitely help us. Obviously, we'd need the fundraising and just the logistics of it. The hardest part is school starts for us, first, second week of August. And it's not only the kids, the students, but we have so many family members that are working this education system. So they'd have to be willing to take off at least 2-3 days of work. And then, but I do
So
think,
if we move nationals up to the first weekend of August, can we make this a thing?
I think it would be a lot easier. Yes. What do you think, Brad? So yes, I do think that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, or Florida, like I said in the beginning of the show, Florida just pushes back their start date of school till after Labor Day, like everybody else in the country.
Right. Then we could just come up for state, D1, D2, stay up there the whole time. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
I'll tell you this, the sport, we would love to see you guys attend when it's only better for the sport when the strongest teams are all competing together at D1 Nationals. And so
100%.
We would love to see that become a reality. And I think as you guys continue to maintain your strength and grow as an organization, I think that chatter is going to only grow within your organization of people wanting to go, wanting to be a part of it. So hopefully that can happen at some point sooner than later down the road.
Yeah, that's a big compliment, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
I hope it does happen. So we'll work towards it.
Great.
All right, Joey, thank you. Congratulations again. Look forward to see you at the Wisconsin State Tournament. But we have to say goodbye to you because we have to bring on your kids.
Thanks, guys. All right. Have a good day. Good luck. We'll see you in a week.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joey.
All right, before we chat with Joey's talented kids, let's talk about the board shop. They're fully stocked for summer, and it's time you get you and the family all decked out in the latest gear and equipment.
Yep. Boards, bindings, skis, jackets, apparel, sunnies, accessories, and so much more. They are the one-stop shop for all of your summer needs. It's time to get on the lake, and you need to visit the board shop before you do.
The Board Shop is seriously the easiest and best way to get all your water sports gear that you'd ever want. Located in Lake Geneva with an incredible shop, or you can jump online and buy everything you need at bswake.com. Use the promo code SHOW15 for a discount on your purchase. That's right, promo code SHOW15 at bswake.com.
All right, time to welcome to the show some young guns. These two are siblings. They are rising stars, and it's so fun to watch where they're headed. Let's welcome to the show Mally and Cal O'Connor.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
How are ya?
Good. Good.
All right.
Good,
All
good.
right. Mally was born in the year of 2008. And that was back when your mom and dad were on Mad City, along with Matt's daughter Riley and my daughter Annika. I suppose, Mally, you don't remember that, but maybe you've seen a picture. Have you seen that picture with all of us lined up holding all of our kids
I
in 2008?
There, yeah.
We'll have to get that one and post that up.
Yep, I think there were 9 or so babies born that same year on Mad City.
Yeah.
Now, all these kids are growing up.
And now they're all 16 and driving.
Yep. It's crazy. Yep. So, congrats to you both on a fantastic regionals. We want to chat with you about that. I want to start with Mally. You took second in open swivel. You took first in swivel pairs with Darian. Your team won the championship. Reflect on that weekend for you. How was that?
I think it was a really fun weekend, and I feel like the mindset I had was going into it was like have a fun time, be excited about it. So I definitely want to thank the whole Cypress team for it all, and working with Sherry last year, working with Darian this year with pairs and stuff has been such like a eye-opener and an amazing opportunity. So
Awesome.
Yeah, congratulations. And Cal, how old are you?
14.
14. All right, so here we have Cal, who's 14, second in freestyle jump, first barefoot endurance, standout star in the show. Like, holy smokes, you did barefoot ovals with Zane Schwenk and Keith St. Ange and Jason LaManna. I mean, you understand.
Highest scoring act of the tournament.
Right. And you're skiing with some of the best in the business. How was that for you?
It was really fun skiing with all of them because they're coaching me on the way, and it's just fun to ski with good people.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, and insane. And you guys, we're going to talk in a minute, but you guys were in, both of you, in some of the other highest scoring acts of the whole tournament. It was super fun to see that. Cal, when did you learn back barefoot circles? Because that, like, watching your show online, we were able to catch it on the live stream. I hadn't seen you do that in the past. When did you learn that, and when did that become a thing?
I actually learned it like this year. So, and then I started working on back circles, and I got put in the show just like a few months ago. And
Cool.
I haven't been too consistent on them, but I'm glad I made it in the show.
Nice. Well, congratulations. To both of you, and one of you can answer first, what was your favorite part of the Cypress Gardens victory at regionals?
For me, I think it was our showmanship. Like, that was just like the most exciting part. Everyone cheering, everyone like so loud for all the acts, for back bear, for circles, for ATV, for pyramid. You could just like hear the excitement in the whole team. So I think for me, that was like my favorite part of it.
Yeah, I also like the showmanship because last year we needed a lot of work on it, so we worked on that through the year, and it was really good to get the showmanship up.
Yeah, I would imagine the showmanship and the excitement probably comes a little easier when you ski that well, right? I mean, you just get pumped up to see everybody on your team do well, and you're excited for each other. That's great.
Yeah, and some of it I imagine too, like your mom was talking about how sometimes you guys don't have the full group together until tournament time, and so then the excitement around the big acts, making the ATB and the 6-man barefoot and the barefoot circles and the big ballet line, like everybody gets jazzed up about that when they're finally together at tournament time. I imagine that added some energy to your team, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's cool. So we talked a little bit about the ATB Act and the 9-person around the boat. You guys are both in that.
Yes.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So for the rest of our listeners around the globe that cannot do 9 around the boat like you guys can, what are the keys to success in a large around the boat act?
Well, for one, you always got to stay together, because if you ever separate, it's just going to be like chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And you really it's like a team effort, pretty much.
How do you stay together? Is that just an excessive amount of practice so that your cuts are all identical speed and you're sticking together?
Well, you kind of got to push against the rope a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And so someone usually calls like when to go from the boat and from just one of the skiers. So we all know to cut at the same time, and so we can all stay together. A lot of practice.
So you push on the person's rope that's in front of you, and the person behind you is pushing on your rope. Everybody's pushing each other's ropes. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Is there an advantage in a large ATB act to having smaller humans like you as opposed to 200-plus pound men trying to do ATB?
Yeah.
For sure. I think especially it helps the boat driver and Steve was amazing this year and last year, helping us kind of push the ATB to get to where we are right now. But it definitely helps when there's smaller humans out there pushing on it, less drag against the boat and stuff. But yeah, we're really trying to get the little ones even to come out and do it. So trying to make that 10.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Well, there you go. You guys could go on tour. Like there's freestyle and swivel clinics. You guys could team up with your boat driver and do ATB clinics for teams. Mad City could use that. So if you guys are up at state this year, maybe you could show us how to do that. What, obviously everybody knows who your parents are. Talk a little bit about your mentors and coaches kind of in your progression of growth through the years, because you guys are standout, top-notch skiers and you're so young. So how did you get to where you are? Who helped you to get to where you are?
Well, a lot is just like the competition on the team. Like everyone's pushing each other to get better. Like when Bryson was down here, we were always like head on head. And then, well, now it's like Gabe, he's doing one ski flips and stuff. So we're all really just pushing each other to do better.
And for me, obviously my parents have been huge help for as long as I can remember. But on the team right now, I think like Sherry has helped me so much. Bailey, obviously both the Hyatts have helped me with jumping and just kind of pushing my limits to go out there. And just kind of like the whole atmosphere of the team, like Cal said, being like competitive, but pushing each other in like a healthy way where you want to grow, you want to get better. And just kind of like from those mentors helping you as a kid, I feel like now we can kind of help the younger ones grow up and get better and grow throughout their sport too. So.
Your mom mentioned that she was kind of in and out of the boat a little bit during the Southern Regional show. What did your dad do during the Southern Regional show?
He skis, but throughout the year he's really been helping with our sound, helping with Bob, and Jessica is out there, and everyone who's helping with the sound. Michaela helped for a while with the sound effects and everything. But he's helped with that. He's been in a bunch of the acts. He did doubles with me this year, which was really fun. And yeah, kind of jumping all over the place. But
is he jumping anymore, Cal?
Not really. I mean, he can, but it's been a while.
He can, but it's been a while. So the question we asked at the beginning of the show, we wonder, who's the best skier right now in the O'Connor family? Nobody wants to answer, do they?
and last name of O'Connor.
That's a very good answer. Good for you.
Great PC answer. Good stuff. So you guys talked about your growth. What are some individual goals that you guys have, both of you? Mally, let's start with you. What are some next step goals for you? What's on the radar?
Well, for me this summer, I really had the goal of making it to nationals, which now I'm so excited. I'm going up there for individuals and pairs with Darian. But in the future for me, I really want to ski professionally somewhere. Depending on wherever it is. I know Lego just shut down, but hoping maybe it'll open back up, maybe Australia or somewhere around there. But yeah, I really want to ski professionally.
Fun.
Cal, how about you? What goals do you have?
Well, I guess for the rest of the summer, I want to start working on like over-under tricks, like flip over flips and stuff. Yeah. And
Will you go? Well, Mally, you've already answered the question. You're going to nationals. Cal, are you going to national? Are you competing at nationals?
yes, for individual jump and I think team jump too.
Awesome.
Very cool.
How was individual freestyle for you, Cal? I mean, that was you made all three of your jumps. You hit the ball, I think, on one or two of them. Talk about that.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm really glad I made all my tricks, and I was really trying to go big this year, and I made that happen. So
Yep.
I was really happy about that.
What were your three jumps for those that didn't see it?
I did the one ski heli, and one ski gainer, and one ski flip.
There you go.
Amazing. 14 years old, going to the buoy ball at big distance on those tricks. Well done, and nipping right at Liam, who won. Liam goes so big, so that's obviously someone you want to chase when you're eyeing up distance. Is watching Liam do his thing because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Last question. Do you wish your team would compete at nationals?
I feel like obviously, yes, we always want to do another show, compete again, but bringing the whole team up there would definitely be a huge ordeal, and I think one of these years, both of us would love to go up there with our team. So, yeah.
How do you think you guys would place this summer if you came to nationals?
Yeah, what would be your prediction?
I don't know.
I think we do good.
I feel like, yeah, we'd get somewhere around top 4 or 5, somewhere around there. But
These O'Connors are so modest. Matt puts you top 3, and I agree. You guys would be top 3 this year.
well, thank you guys.
Yep, awesome stuff. You guys keep doing your thing. Keep crushing it on the water. Keep being role models for others. Love your energy. Love what Cypress Gardens is doing. And obviously love the O'Connor family. So keep up the great work, and thanks for being on the podcast today.
Thank you guys so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Good stuff. Joey, Mally, Cal, fun Cypress Gardens team, and so cool to see where they're headed.
Listen, you have a stacked team when you have Paul O'Connor helping with sound.
And doing doubles.
Like holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
good for
pretty
them.
amazing. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
That
Love
would be
seeing where they're headed. Like Mally has become a beautiful swiveler, long lines. Her next to Darian, it was beautiful. She's come so far, and Cal, he's been in our awards show nominees year after year in the age group categories. He's been one of those. He's won it. I expect him to be in the mix again this year at doing what he's doing at 14 years old. Like, those kids are on the rise, and love to see it.
They're 14 and 16. Like,
Yeah.
holy smokes. And man, and when she mentioned like, hey, she wants to ski professionally, it kind of makes you're like, man, I wish there were more opportunities for that,
Yes,
which
more
we've
shows,
talked
more
about in
opportunities,
previous podcasts. But both of them will find their way for sure. I mean, there's 100%.
Sure, there's Team USA's in their future at some point.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Many.
Yep. Great stuff. Thank you to today's sponsors, Flyman Skis, custom-made jump skis, featherboard, swivel skis at affordable prices. Get yours at flymanskis.com. The Board Shop, all your summer and winter board sports gear is yours at bswake.com. And Paul Stokes at American Family Insurance. Let Paul be your insurance agent.
All right, next episode comes just a few days after the Wisconsin State Tournament, and we will recap both Central Regionals and Wisconsin State, so tune in. And, of course, thanks again to all of our listeners and our viewers. This is Matt and Adam, and this is The Ski Show.
Thank you for listening to The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast with Matt and Adam. If you have questions or ideas for the show, find us on social media or message us at theskishowpodcast@gmail.com.